Well, I'm John Preston. This is my wife Janet.
Been married 60
Oh, yeah, 60
years.
years, yes.
60 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
60 years. I don't know where the time went, but it went fast.
Didn't seem so long, and really, but it has been a long time. Had a niece get married, 13 years ago in Texas, and 47 years. We was the oldest married couple there. What do you attribute your long marriage life to? I said, just do what she tells you. So that's, I'm going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not 100% true, of course, but
No, I think communication is a big thing, yeah. Talk over, if you do have problems or something, and just give and take, 50-50.
oh yeah, really.
Yeah. Well, there's a little town in Missouri called King City, and actually he was born there, delivered at home by his great uncle, and I was born there, delivered by his great uncle. But he stayed there all of his life. But my family moved quite often, and we were in another town in Missouri, and then Kansas City, and I wound up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But eventually, my senior year, last half of my senior year, I wound up back in King City, and he had just gotten out of the military. We met on kind of a blind date. A friend of his introduced him to me, and we went out on a date, and a year later we got married.
A friend of mine said he wanted to take these 3 girls to the ball game tonight. We put them in the back seat, took them over, and then coming back, he said, I want that one girl to sit in front with me. I knew which one he meant, and I got in the back seat with her and the other girl, but we just in there. So got home, we're back, we went home. But anyway, that's how we got started.
And so we met and got married and stayed there in King City for a while, but then we moved down here and
To Lawrence.
And then he got on at Goodyear, and so we moved here 52 years ago.
51 almost.
51 years. I worked in a bank there. We lived there for 5 years before we moved to Lawrence. And
But I thought since she worked in the bank, I thought, boy, I'm going to be rich. But that didn't last very long. That's okay. We moved to
after
Lawrence.
the first paycheck, you found out.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
No, but anyway, yeah, we moved to Lawrence.
But I remember one night, I think I was about 12 years old, and I was sitting in the car with Grandma, and he walked by. I didn't know who he was, but he was with another girlfriend, which was a friend of mine. I graduated with her eventually. But he walked by, and I just saw him walk by, and I thought, well, now maybe someday I'll marry somebody like that. But it didn't dawn on me till probably 15 years, well, not that many years later.
No.
But
So I was caught, or I was in trouble
yeah,
right away.
you were in trouble right away.
Yeah.
I told my mother, I said, I got engaged tonight. She said, oh, you're way too young. And my
17,
mother,
yeah.
my mother started school early because she had a sister, and they used to let them go to the one-room schoolhouses, when they were 5 years old. And so my mother graduated when she was 17, and she got married when she was 17. So Mom told me, she said, you're way too young to get married. And I said, and how old were you? And she said, oh, never mind.
My folks, I don't remember saying anything. I mean,
No.
they didn't disagree. There was
I
pretty
always
much
said
comment.
my mother and father liked him better than they did me.
Oh.
No, they were very happy. I had hired a photographer out of St. Joe, which was our next biggest town to the south. And I'd gone to him and told him exactly what pictures I wanted taken and everything. And the night came and they sent a substitute man who had had a little bit too much alcohol that night. And he didn't have a list of what I wanted taken. And I remember I was a little upset with him, but he did okay. He took the pictures and everything. It wasn't quite what I wanted, but it was okay. But And then the wedding, well, I remember my brother, that was who just called, uh, he was one of the ring bearers. And I had told him after I came down the aisle, I think, and they were all down there, they were going to turn off the lights because the candles were all lit. And so my brother was only 4 at the time, and he kept saying,
5, I guess, well, whatever.
he kept saying, who turned off the lights? Who turned off the lights? And I kept trying to quiet him down. But anyway, it was a nice wedding. Everything else went fine. Yeah. Well, we moved in with an aunt of mine had an apartment upstairs, and we moved into her apartment for
3 months.
3 months, and then we rented a duplex, and then
Rented a house.
then we rented a house.
And then we come to Lawrence. I went to work at Hallmark. And
Yeah.
She quit working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her when I had the children, we had our son was born in Lawrence. Well, all 3 of them were really, but when I had our son, I said, I'm going to stay at home with the kids, and I will go back to work when we're eating beans. But I didn't go back to work till our youngest, Jennifer, was in kindergarten. Janine is the oldest, and they live right across. I can see her house from my kitchen window. And then Johnny's our middle son.
Lives right over there.
Lives right over there. And then Jennifer's our youngest. She lives in Lawrence.
Didn't want to
2 motorhomes and 2 pop-up campers.
The one time anyway.
Because out in Colorado, it's a little town called Ouray, Colorado. Have you heard of it? And my great-great-grandfather founded a mine out there in Ouray.
Silver.
Silver mine, yeah. And so we would go out there, and you can actually take a Jeep trail up to the face of the mine, but it's not open now. But I think the worst part was when Goodyear went on strike.
Oh, for a year? No, I was laid off for a year.
You were laid
We had
off.
some strikes too for a few months at a time. That made money hard.
Yeah.
And then I was laid off for a year and did get a job finally for about the last half of that year, but it wasn't paying that good. When they called me back, I went back.
He went to work for farmers around in the area.
Sometimes, I did some of
Putting
that.
up hay, and then he went back to his hometown, and some of his uncles up there that were farmers, he worked up there.
A little bit.
But we never really, we had garden, we kind of knew that the strike might be coming, so we had kind of prepared
Tried
for
to.
it. And then my mother lived down at the end of the road, and my grandmother lived down here, it's a dead end, and then my sister lived down here. So they didn't let us starve. But you found out what's important in life, because we had to kind of budget quite a bit, but it wasn't that bad. Well, till he fell off of a hayrack wagon and got a blood clot in his leg at the same time.
Up in Missouri helping an Uncle Hay on that deal, but no, I bet it come out of it.
Our youngest, Jennifer, I don't know, I tried to get her to sleep at night. He was on like a 3 to 11 shift, and she just wouldn't go to sleep for me, but he'd come home and he'd sit in the recliner and read the paper about 11 o'clock and prop her up and she could go to sleep. But I had worked for an hour, couldn't get her to sleep. She was just waiting for her dad to come home, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, when our son married his wife Kelly, she had 3 children already, and they were just about 3 and 4.
I think Sarah was only a year and a half.
A year and a half.
So our 3 grandkids are step-grandkids.
Yeah. And they've always lived out here close to us, so yeah, they're grandchildren too. I think sometimes they just, if things aren't going right, they just throw up the towel and throw it and just get a divorce, But it takes work, but
Just have some patience, more patience if you can.
Yeah.
That's hard for some people to do. I guess
Yeah.
now with the situation.
And
I don't know. You just
you just kind of let things not get to you, or just
if you
don't.
can, you try
Yeah.
not to. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't blow up or something and talk about it, you can work things out if you want to. Well, I know people have told me before, because our friends at church or work or different clubs that we belong to, your children turned out so nice. And I go, well, yeah, I guess they did. But they tell me
they
all
sure
about,
have.
you know, some of their children and all the problems they had. And I think we were very
Yeah,
lucky.
we've been lucky.
Yeah,
There's
we've
been
been
no,
lucky.
no trouble or no. Yeah, they just.
And I think it's because we've always gone to church, been to church, and I taught Sunday school when the kids were little, and then we had a adult Sunday school class, and I taught it for 5 years.
Mhm.
But not that I was smarter than anybody else, but I think you have to have a higher power to help you through things. But we do have pretty good kids.
We do.
Very good kids.
Kids and the kids and the grandkids and all
Yeah,
the other.
grandkids and great
Yeah, I
grandkids.
think
Yeah,
we're pretty lucky.
very lucky. But just don't let the bad times take over it, and just work through it. I mean, yeah.